Good evening. My name is Senora Rodriguez. I'm a Spanish teacher at Rutherford High School. I've been working here for the past 22 years, but I've been teaching Spanish for 35 years. I have a master's degree in Spanish language and literature, and I have taught various levels throughout my career, from grammar school all the way up to college. This year I'm teaching Spanish 2, 4 honors, and AP. And tonight I would like to talk to you about your child's Spanish AP class. Behind me, you will see a PowerPoint presentation with additional information about the class, breakdown of grades, and expectations for the year. But before I go over briefly with you, I would like to talk about the class in general. We have 2 goals for the year. One is the academic goal, which is to pass the AP exam and to get a good grade. The personal goal is to be fluent or as close to fluent as possible in Spanish, be able to communicate with native speakers, be able to get to know their culture better, and to use the language in everyday real life situations. Not just drilling on verbs, we practice our grammar through context. So we do a lot of reading, a lot of speaking, a lot of listening activities, so we get to that point of passing the test and improving the language. We do not have a physical book. We have a online book. This book will be online as well as the workbook. We do a lot of exercises just to practice different strategies to use the language, but we also use many other resources. We watch videos, we listen to music, we do a lot of oral presentations so they can use the language and hear the language, hear a lot of native speakers with the variations of the language. It's one language, but we have 20 countries that share the same language. Therefore, they might have different accents or different vocabulary words that might sound different. So I want them to get to know all aspects of the language in various countries so they can communicate and go out there and talk to people, watch movies, read books, and understand no matter what country it was written. One language, a few variations of vocabulary, but throughout the strategies that we learn in class, we should be able to understand and communicate in one language. I will go over right now the PowerPoint presentation in the back. The first thing is preparation. Whether they're home or in school, it's very important that they log in on time if they're home or they arrive on time to class. And they need to be prepared with their books, their classwork, and any other materials that they might need for the day. The next one is, like I said before, the text is online. We do not use a physical textbook, but we do use a lot of resources. This is the link for the textbook, and also you find any information that I upload to your child's assignments on Google Classroom. You can also visit my website at rutherfordschool.org under my name, and everything that I assign to them will be linked to that calendar when the assignment was assigned and then when it's due. If you want additional information on what the assignment is, you can join the Google Classroom. You can send me an email and I can send you an invite, and you can see in details what they see and what's expected from that particular assignment. Grading is broken down into categories, and homework is 50% of the grade. However, homework itself is subgraded depending on whether it's complete, not complete, or incomplete. So please make sure that your child is familiar with the breakdown 0, 50, 75, or 100 so they can get credit for what they do. The homework is due when it's the day that is due at the beginning of class, not at the end. We go over the classwork and the homework the same day. So if they do it afterwards, I already gave them the answers. Class participation is 25%. Whether they're home or in school, they need to participate. If they're at home because they're fully remote or that's their hybrid day to be at home, they need to be on Zoom. When we do Zoom discussions, they need to be visible and they need to participate. If they don't do it, it will affect their class grade because it's the same as being in class. This is 20% of their grade, and it's to be taken the day that it is assigned. Whether they're home or not, if they are present in school, they mark present for the day, they must take the test the same day. Otherwise, it's a 0. Test, 40%, same thing as quizzes. If they don't take it the day it is assigned, it will be a 0 for the day, unless they are marked absent for the day. Materials, they should have a notebook where to take notes or use Google Documents and keep a folder just for Spanish. Keep a folder for handouts, anything that I upload or I give them in classroom, physical copies. They should have them because since we use many resources, they might have something that is not on their computer. So I upload it. It's very important they keep a copy. They know what we're doing and they can follow the classwork. Submitting the work. It's very important they know where to submit it. I have gone over it with them, but just in case they forget, please remind them they need to submit the work the day that it was assigned. For this class, sometimes we have long-term assignments. Even if it's due 2 days later, 1 week later, they still need to upload it to the day that it was submitted. If they share it with me or email it or upload it any other day, it just gets lost. So it's easier for me to find it in one place. And that one place is the day it was assigned. I go back and when it's completed, it should be there, even though it was 1 week later. Very important. Otherwise, they're going to get a 0 for classwork and if they did it because I can't find it. So we want to avoid any confusion. Absences is the same as a regular school day. If they were absent from school, whether they're at home, they marked absent, they're responsible for the work that they missed. They should see me or email me for any missed work and catching up on tests if we had one that day. Extra help. Very important this year because we are not in school after hours. So we do have extra help after school. But now it's through Zoom. I have a Zoom discussion open, a Zoom session open from 1:17 to 2:36 every day. Unless there's any technical difficulties or I'm absent from school, they can email me. If they can't find me that day on Zoom, they can email me and I will respond as soon as possible. They can come for extra help. They can make up tests and quizzes during that time, one-on-one discussions. So please ask your child to feel free to come and see me through Zoom anytime. Cell phones, same as school policy at home. Do not use a phone when you're at home. When you're on Zoom, it's the same thing as being in class. It's distracting, and it's very important they follow that. Mask, if they are in school, it's very important that they wear a mask unless there's any medical issue that we are aware of. Common courtesy, respect each other, no food, eating when you're at home especially. Just because you're at home doesn't mean you're not in class. You are in class, so no eating. Respect for each other and cooperate with the class. Remote and hybrid, follow the virtual learning etiquette that was sent to you. Again, it's what I explained before, being on time, doing the work, being visible, and mute yourself, please. Have the students mute themselves, please, because if they all talk at the same time, it's very hard to hear them. So that's one of the requirements that we have. If they want to speak, they can raise their hand, they can unmute, and this way it's only one at a time. If you or your child have any questions for me, please feel free to email me at any time, and I'll be happy to help you and your child. And again, Zoom, emails, any communication, but please keep the communication open. And I'm very happy that they chose to be in AP and go up to this level, and that they learn more than just the language, but they learn to love the language and the people and the culture. Good night.